Good morning guys, welcome back to another video with me. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I've been on a weight loss journey for the last couple of years following the Starch Solution and using the principles of calorie density. I want to show you every single thing I'm eating today. I'm really excited about it because, Romy's bringing me a pretend kiwi. Let's have a taste. That's delicious, that's delicious. You're quite delicious. So I'm a busy, why am I bending down? I'm a busy mum of two and I want to show you how I make this way of eating work for me when I'm busy, when I haven't got loads of time, when I'm on the go, what I feed my kids, how I put my meals together, blah, 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 all of that good stuff. Because it is doable, you just have to put some systems in place and set up your environment, and then it's actually so easy and effortless once you do that, especially when you find foods that you love eating. That is the most important bit. If you don't love your food, you're not going to continue eating this way, obviously. So I love everything I make, well, most of the time. So I want to show you what I am making today. I have got, as always, loads of different things on the go today, and I can't make up my mind as to what I'm going to eat because there's too much good stuff. Right, so first and foremost, I started this morning off with a nice hibiscus tea. I fancied something not caffeinated because when I have like a regular tea, like a caffeinated tea, it's fine, but I am left feeling like it sucked the water out of my body, which is obviously defeating the point of drinking something. So it's something I'm working on, trying to figure out how I'm going to balance caffeine. I'm so sorry, I've got the dishwasher and the washing machine on. What am I going to do? It's just life, normal life around here. It's not a fancy video, this is just regular stuff. And then the next thing I've just done a school run. It's going to be a crazy week because Abe's actually back at school for a full week, and that has not happened for a month, all over Christmas. Then he came back for a day, then we went to France, and now we're finally back. Yay! So I'll show you what I'm having now. But my mum decided to get rid of loads of stuff, and so she gave me some of this whole earth. It's kind of like coffee, but it's not coffee. It is barley, malted barley, chicory, rye, and figs, and it's actually really yummy. So I've just got some of that for myself, which is actually really delicious. Okay, so let me show you what I've got going on today. So, the first thing I did when I woke up is I had a little think about what I wanted to eat today. Obviously, I've got my meal plan, so let me show you my meal plan. We did slightly tweak it, I think, yesterday when we did our grocery online shop for Riverford. But basically, today on the list is potato salad and sushi. So I know that I also want chickpeas in my life. Oh, clever Romlet! Romy is just playing a little game where she puts the cards in. Wow! Yay! Oh gosh! Yay! So yes, so I know that I want some chickpeas in my life. So because I really am craving that chickpea ice cream that I made the other day, and I just want some general chickpea cookie dough things. Basically, chickpeas are just, I just love them so much. So when I woke up this morning and I was doing Abe's breakfast and stuff, I put on a big batch of chickpeas in my Instant Pot, oh God, so that I have loads of chickpeas, which is fantastic. I also know that because I'm having potato salad, and I did not want to forget that I'm having a potato salad, on my countertop this morning while I was doing breakfast, I pulled out some potatoes and this silken tofu mayo, which I'm going to use to make my potato salad. I pulled these out so that I would remember to make them. If I didn't pull it out, I might have forgotten when Romy was squeaky and whatever, and I might have just ended up eating I don't know what. But I've got these and I know I want to eat that, so I put them out. That is a really helpful thing that helps me every single day, just putting stuff out on the counter. So if you're forgetting to eat certain meals that you've scheduled in or whatever it happens to be, put it out, make it visible. If it's visible, you'll remember it. Right, so that's what I'm doing this morning. That's what I'm doing for lunch. But for this morning, I've got a couple of things on my mind. So first thing, I was trying to figure out what veggies I want to have this morning because you guys know I'm starting the day with veggies. I love starting the day with veggies at the moment. It is just incredible to me. So I was having a little look in my fridge, and I don't know if you guys remember, I said, oh my gosh, I bought so much celery, what an idiot. So I actually have a ridiculous quantity of celery. It's all organic, which is nice for me. So I thought, why don't I suck it up and make something celery related? So I think just a big, comfy, snuggly celery soup because it's really cold outside. So I'm going to make a celery soup, and my plan for that is super quick and simple. Oh, that's the chickpeas done. Why do you have to be so noisy, washing machine? I've got an onion. I'm going to use half of this onion. I've got these 2 potatoes because I want it to be like a creamy-ish soup, although that's not the main starch for my breakfast. And then I'm going to chop up most of this celery, minus like 3 or 4 pieces that I'm going to use for my potato salad later. So I'm washing all the celery, sorting all the celery, making a celery soup. It won't take long to come together. And then for my main starchy bit of my breakfast, I was debating. I've got so many things that I want to do, and I don't know which one to do because I'm overwhelmed by tasty choices. So firstly, I've got some leftover chocolate cake from yesterday because I made a double batch. So I could eat that, but actually I might save that for my kids and I want to have something else. Then I was thinking, I've got a leftover sweet potato. So I could do sweet potato chocolate pudding. That also sounds amazing. But then I actually thought I want something like a milkshake. I fancy like a chocolate milkshake kind of thing. And I also want to include beans in. As you guys know, I love beans. So I thought I've got these leftover from the chili. When I made the beans for the chili, I put half aside and I just stuck it in the freezer. So I've just pulled this out. It is a combination of black beans, black-eyed beans, and kidney beans. So it's a great combination. It's nice to mix up your beans every once in a while. I mean, I know I love chickpeas, but it's nice to mix it up. I'm going to try and do that more often. So I thought, this is my thought process. I'm thinking beans, chocolate with some oat as a milkshake thing. I don't have any frozen bananas. I don't know if I have any ice. I really hope I do, but I'm going to figure that out. But that's kind of my vague thought process. So this is my starchy bit, and my celery soup is going to be like my veggie bit. And I know that's a really strange thing to start the day with, but I fancy it and it works. So let's do this. I'm going to show you what it looks like when it all comes together. Okie dokie. So Rams and I are sitting having some breakfast. Her lunch, my breakfast. I think it's about 10 o'clock or something. So it's pretty early for me actually. Romy is, so I made the celery soup and I've just mixed in some hummus because why not get extra beans into your life? And Romy is going crazy for it. She was gnawing on celery. I know, but hold on, sweet pea. Hold on. She was gnawing on the celery while we were making it. She loves celery. You want to say hi? So this is my celery soup. It is just very, very simple. It's all those things I already told you. And I put a dollop of hummus in the middle as well because what a great combination. I also blended up a cup of baby. I also blended up a cup of chickpeas in with the celery soup as well. So we had celery, onion, potato, and chickpeas. You want to see yourself? Look, there's Romy. You know, more celery soup. That delicious. Is it yummy? You really love it? Do you want some more? That makes me so happy. The Rommies are really enjoying celery soup. I love celery. I know it's an acquired taste, but I love it. So we're also munching on some of this hummus. And yes, you can see it there. Okay. So we're munching on some hummus, but also here's my chocolatey shake thing that I made. It's like a thick chocolate shake. So basically, you got a cheeky face. Here you go. Here, omelette. So what was in the chocolate shake? So I did oats, bananas, a mix of those beans. I did cocoa powder, vanilla, loads of ice, and some almond milk, I think. In terms of the ratios, I kept on kind of chucking stuff in, so I need to kind of have a look at what I filmed before I can tell you the ratios. I think it was ended up being like a cup of oats, maybe like 2 bananas or something, but that was split between me and Romy a little bit. She's having some in here, and like 2/3 cup of beans, maybe. I'm sorry, I don't give exact measurements. I think there was a comment a couple of videos ago or something, complaining that I don't really give measurements and proper recipes and all that kind of stuff. And you know what? That is totally understandable. I wish I could do all of the recipes as well, and I would love to, and one day I most certainly will. But it's just impossible. I don't know how I would do it. I know I could give the written measurements, but when I upload the videos, it's really late at night, and I just forget, to be honest. And it's just, I kind of just bung things into most meals, to be honest. But I do film most, if not all of my recipes over on Instagram. So you can always go and check out my Instagram, where I've got loads of free recipes that you can access. So I got myself a second batch of celery soup because it is so delicious. and snuggly and comforting, and it's really cold this morning. And I've also got potatoes and some chickpeas in there as well, actually. And I'm also adding a little bit of hummus to the top. So, like, this chocolate shake is really nice. But I think I might save most of it for later, because this celery soup is so yummy. Also, Romy's falling asleep, so I'm going to have to stop and get some work done now as well anyway. So I might just save this as a mid-morning snack and just focus on my celery soup for now. Anyway, soups are a fantastic way to get those veggies in. If you're not a fan of veggies, or if you just don't fancy stir-fried veggies, have it in the form of soup. Soups in themselves are obviously fantastic because they are extra low calorie density because you add loads of water to them. So they really provide that bulk. Obviously, please don't neglect your starch. Don't forget to add those potatoes, those beans in there if you're just having the soup. Or if you're having soup with something, make sure you have a lovely big starchy element like this chocolate smoothie milkshake thing, or whatever, porridge or whatever you fancy. But anyway, get those veggies in, and soups are fantastic in the winter when it is freezing cold. Anyway, I'm going to go get some work done while she feeds and has a little sleep, so I'll chat to you later. Okay, so it's about 12:30 and I've got a very growly Romy here. I finished my little chocolatey milkshake thing. That was very yummy. But now I'm starting to feel a little bit hungry. So I was just about to say what we having. I know exactly what we're having. I've already put it on the counter. It is potato salad. So I'm very excited about that. What I think I might do is I'm going to figure out what veggies I want to have with it as well. I'll tell you what, let me put the potatoes in the Instant Pot first, then we'll figure out the veggies best way. So I'm in the middle. I've decided to make a potato salad, as you guys know. So I wanted to film a recipe for you guys because I know I don't film many recipes. And I was in the middle of filming it and I realised I haven't got any herbs and spices. I've got no dried dill and I've got no fresh parsley, both of which I kind of need for this recipe. Otherwise it's going to be like a bit meh. So anyway, I've decided to take this opportunity to go to the shops, get a nice walk in today because I haven't really been out of the house. I think Romy needs to sleep anyway, so it might be perfect. We're going to go and we're just going to go and get some herbs, and I might buy some extra broccoli because I always need broccoli. Anyway, that's my plan. I have used this silken tofu to make, well, I'm in the process of making it into like a creamy-ish sauce. This is going to be delicious. I'm so excited about it. So anyway, let's go to the shops and buy some stuff right now. Instead of driving to the shops, I've got a car here. I could drive, but I'm going to walk, getting that extra movement. Okay, we are ready to head out, but I just wanted to have a Brazil nut first. I know I don't film it, but I always have a Brazil nut every single day for my selenium and because it's delicious. So I thought I would take this opportunity to quickly chat about hunger fullness cues, because I know quite a few of you guys wanted to know my take on hunger fullness cues and how I have worked that out for myself. I have not always found it easy being able to listen to my body. Listening to your hunger fullness cues, if you don't know, is basically just knowing when your body is genuinely hungry and then eating, and then also being able to listen to your body to know when you're not actually hungry anymore. I don't want to say when you're full, because sometimes that could imply being stuffed, but what you want to get to a point is what you want to get to a point is where you're not hungry anymore. So obviously, first and foremost, the best and easiest way to do that is by eating a whole food plant-based diet, focused around starches and non-starchy veggies, fruits and legumes. When you eat that way, sorry, there's a lot of traffic, I know. Nothing I can do about that. When you eat that way, you're able to eat large volumes of food, so therefore you're actually filling your stomach with enough food so that it becomes satisfied and so that it can register all of that food that it's taken in. You've got all the water, you've got all the fibre in there, all the nutrients. That is perfect. However, if you were to try and listen to your hunger fullness cues when you're eating processed stuff, that is almost impossible, because you're not actually filling out your stomach with the amount. You're getting a lot more calories in each small little bite that's not actually going to be able to fill up your stomach and activate your stretch receptors in the same way that a whole food plant-based diet would be able to. So first and foremost, eat a whole food plant-based diet. If you're not doing that, it's going to be almost impossible. You know, when you have a massive Domino's pizza, you're not going to be able to listen to your hunger fullness cues. The other reason is that it's so scintillating to the taste buds. There's so much going on there. The combination of sugary, salty and fatty stuff means that you're just not able to stop in nature, those three things are never found in the same food. So when you mix all those together, it is addictive, and so it's really impossible to tell if you're hungry or not. So going back to the basics, if you're eating this way, Starch Solution, whole food, plant-based, the first thing, if you're still struggling with your hunger fullness cues, that's fair enough. It took me a while to get on top of it as well. The first thing I would say is give it time. Let your body trust you that you're actually feeding it enough food. Before, when I was yo-yo dieting, I would be on quite restrictive calories for a while, however long my motivation lasted. Then I would swing and eat everything, and there was never a steady, consistent, good quality flow of food. So that's the first thing, just get on top of eating really good food first. Then there's a few things you can look at. So you can first start by thinking about what you're hungry for. So if I'm thinking, oh, I might be hungry, first thing I do is ask myself, what am I hungry for? Am I hungry for cookies and ice cream and pizza, or would a massive bowl of veggies or, you know, rice and chickpeas or something, does that sound good to me? I always say, if you're hungry enough for veggies, that's when you're actually hungry, which is why I often like to start my day with veggies, because it makes me eat when I'm actually hungry. If I started my day with a bowl of Cocoa Pops, it's so sweet and delicious, I could eat that any old time, regardless of whether I was hungry or not. But if I start my day with a massive bowl of broccoli, cabbage and carrots, I will only eat when I am hungry. So that's the first thing. Second thing I like to look at is when you're in the middle of eating a meal, ask yourself, maybe like halfway or 3/4 of the way through your meal, are you enjoying your food as much as you were at the beginning? So when you're really hungry and you sit down to a meal, you're like, oh my God, yay, this tastes amazing. Even if it's just broccoli and, you know, whatever it happens to be, some potatoes, tastes fantastic, right? But maybe towards the end of your meal, it stops tasting quite as good. But I know a lot of people struggle to stop there and they just keep shoveling it in. But that's the point, when it stopped tasting quite as good, that's the point that you're not hungry anymore and you're just eating it for the sake of eating it. So try and be mindful while you're eating your food. Eat slow, try not to be distracted, and just try and be mindful. You'll get into the habit of it. But at the beginning, you do have to think about it a bit. And just constantly have it on your mind while you're eating. But when it stopped tasting quite as good, that's when you're not actually hungry anymore. Put your food aside, wait for 10 to 15 minutes for your body to catch up with you, and then you can either decide if you're hungry, again, in which case feel free to eat, or what often happens to me is like I realise I'm not hungry anymore, and then I stop eating, put it aside, save it for later. So that's the other thing. So the next thing that sometimes, there's a couple of other things that I find helpful. One is drinking enough water. Wait a sec. For me personally, I am terrible at drinking water, and I know if I haven't had water for a really good portion of the day, I might often mistake my thirst for feeling hungry, so I'll often eat, and then only sometimes do I catch myself and go, oh my God, Amy, you idiot, you were actually thirsty, not hungry. So have you had a big glass of water recently? Not to say I want you to fill your stomach up with water so that you don't eat any food, obviously. I want to just make sure that you're fully hydrated so that you can be in tune with your body's hunger fullness cues. So there's a couple more things I want to chat about. I know this is kind of a bit all over the place, but that's the way my mind works, and I'm not a scientist and I haven't written it all down. I'm just chatting about what I'm chatting about. So the next thing is, are your foods overstimulating? Are you adding loads of maple syrup, making it really sweet, making it really tasty with sauces and loads of ketchup and all that kind of stuff, to create flavor explosions in your mouth? It's all right to have tasty food. I have tasty food. I love tasty food. But when you're adding loads of extra stuff on top, you're not really able to find your cutoff point. So that's one of the reasons that I stopped adding so much sweetness into my breakfast and into my meals in general. I used to add brown sugar or maple syrup into my porridge or into my whatever I was having in the morning. And I've stopped doing that because I know I'm not able to listen to my body properly because it's just so darn tasty. So I will just eat the whole thing mindlessly no matter what. But I know if I make a big bowl of porridge without any sweetener in it, I will stop when I'm not hungry anymore because it stops being tasty. But when you are hungry, things like plain porridge, they are tasty. A plain potato is tasty. Plain broccoli is tasty when you are hungry. So, just try and get that out of your mind, that food doesn't have to be really exciting all the time. It can just be basic, but you will enjoy those things when you're hungry. And the final thing to chat about is other reasons you might be turning to food. Now, this is probably one of the main ones, and it's one of the trickiest ones, but once you're eating this way, and you've got all of those other things down, then it's about emotional eating. Are you actually looking for something else other than food? Are you looking for love, comfort? Are you stressed? Are you angry? What is actually going on in your life? Do you need to find a hobby? Are you bored? There's so many other things that could be that you could be turning to food towards. You could be turning towards food instead of actually addressing the real issue. So what else in your life can you add? Maybe it's going out for drinks with some friends, calling your mum, having a cuddle with your kids, finding a hobby, just moving your body, whatever it is, getting out of the kitchen so that you're not like snacking. But all of those things can be really helpful techniques so that you're not actually focusing on food when you're not really hungry. Anyway, I'm at the shops now. I'm going to go. I hope that was helpful. So I've got all my goods. There was no fresh parsley. It's all right. But I also picked up a few other tasty things while I was there. And I was just thinking, I don't ever buy processed food anymore. The most processed food I buy is pasta and like soy milk. But that is the key. If you're finding yourself snacking on things you don't want to be snacking on, I tell you what, it's because you're buying it. If you don't buy it, you can't eat it. So when you go to the shops, put a shopping list in place and buy only what's on your shopping list. And then when you come home, you haven't bought any extra things. And you'll only eat the healthy stuff, the fresh stuff, the stuff that you want to be eating. Aside from when you're leaving the house, obviously, I recommend taking food with you so that you don't get starving. But keeping a clean environment is the number one absolute key to eating it this way. Okay, I've just filmed my potato salad recipe. This stuff is incredible. If you want to go and check it out, feel free to do that because I highly recommend it. Anyway, I'm just putting myself some lunch together. I'm going to have that potato salad, and I'm also making myself, obviously, vegetable heaven. So when I went to the shops, I picked up some purple cabbage and some more carrots because we were running seriously low. So I've just done that with some chickpeas, garlic, soy sauce, my Amy regular. I'm going to have that with my potato salad. I'm just making Romy a little bit of food on the side. She has got some potatoes and some strawberries, and I'm going to give her, there you go, sweet pea, and I'm going to give her some of the veg as well. And then I'm going to get some, should I show you what I quickly picked up from the shops? Why not? So I got some rainbow carrots, purple cabbage, one extra broccoli, some avocado for sushi tonight, some Brussels sprouts, because why not, some discounted strawberries for the babies, and my parsley and my dill for my potato salad, because so that is all I got from the shops. And I'm going to put some sushi rice on very soon because it's sushi night tonight. Super excited about it. And what I think I might do is I might go crazy and I might do mashed chickpeas in my sushi. Love getting beans in. Love getting beans in. Okay, I want to show you what I have finally put together for my lunch. I have got 50-50 plate, potato salad on one side, cabbage, carrots and chickpeas on the other side. Got my beans in, got loads of tofu in, so extra beans, got my starch, got loads of veggies. A fantastic way to mix up your potatoes if you're getting bored of potatoes. But yes, I'm going to dig into this. Romy has got some chickpeas, some potato, and I'm just giving her the stuff on the side so she can dip it in, and some strawberries, and she's already eaten a full orange, and loads of other stuff actually. Anyway, I'm going to go and chat down. So we were talking about hunger fullness cues earlier, and I just wanted to share another strategy you do is by eating your veggies first. So I ate all my veggies and then I ate a good amount of my potatoes, but I was also thinking to myself, am I still enjoying this the same way I was at the beginning? And the answer turned out to be no. It's a very delicious meal, but I was not enjoying it in quite the same way, and therefore I had a little chat with myself and I realised that I'm actually not hungry anymore. Romy, however, is still starving. She has had so much food, it is ridiculous. She loved the tofu mayo, she was dipping everything in, she's asked for more potatoes, little gut bucket. Anyway, my point is I'm going to leave this potato salad and I'm going to have that tomorrow or something, but just check in with yourself when you're eating. Okay, it is 5 o'clock and I've got the babies. We are just making some sushi. I've already put Abe's together and he is currently snacking and enjoying that. I wanted to share with you what I've got going on for my own sushi. So I've got carrot, cucumber, pickled radish, otherwise called as mooli, tofu and avocado. So that is the stuff that we usually have in the sushi. But I also fancied something else a little bit crazy in my sushi, which I used to have loads like a year or so ago, but I haven't had it in a while. And it is mashed chickpeas with garlic mayo. It is. So, come here, Ronald. It's such a delicious combination, and I love having it in sushi. It's a nice, filling, beany element. And I don't have any hands, so I can't show you. But in there, broccoli and Brussels sprouts with a bit of my tofu. I decided to have tofu in there as opposed to in the actual sushi. I prefer it in the veggies. Hey guys, so put my food together. I want to show you what I've got. I've got a massive pile of veggies, full head of broccoli, loads of sprouts, and my tofu, soy sauce and garlic as usual. And then my sushi over here with the chickpea tofu combination. That is my massive... Gorgeous. Romy's really crazy because she loves the pickled ginger and she's going crazy for it. I need to give her some more. But anyway, I'm going to go and eat this with my babies. With my doggies, sorry. And now I'll see you guys in a bit. Oh yes, so it's the next morning and I totally forgot to film anything last night. Busy night and I just went to sleep. So I'm sorry about that, but I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you want to see what I'm eating tomorrow, i.e. today, then stay tuned and check it out very soon.